All right, folks, good afternoon. I'm Anthony Weeks, and of course, Patricia Carvalho. She is the producer and host of The Marketplace and Everything Brazil. We are live on location here in New York City at the Irie Jam 360 studio, coming to you live. And today we have a fascinating guest and show lineup for you today. And today I'm just simply going to be a support. I'm going to participate in my supportive role. Pat is going to be leading this conversation today because when we talk about everything Brazil, I know nothing about Brazil. She knows everything about Brazil. And so we're going to have a great discussion. Going to learn a lot. I'm going to learn up. I'm going to brush up on my Portuguese. You know, I'm going to maybe try a little thing or something. You know, what do you think, Pat? What do you think?
I think you did great already. You know
Well,
how to say to the bang.
Absolutely, absolutely. Don't forget, folks, we are coming to you live on the Kalaloo Network. And to get the Irie Jam 360 app and to watch this program live, simply go to www.kalalloo.com. When you get there, click on the live menu button, and voila, we are live. And you're able to then also, if you want to download the app, please do so. And you'll see the instructions as to how to download the app. And also, this program is also rebroadcast on television throughout the New York Tri-State area, Boston, Philadelphia, Baltimore, D.C., and of course throughout the Caribbean, Guyana, and Suriname in South America. And I'm really happy that we are able to have this show and then also have it broadcast in the U.S. Virgin Islands as well, where that's my base, my home base. So, Pat, why don't you tell us what we're going to be talking about today? Who do we have as our guest today? And so I'm going to have a wonderful time, you know, just watching you do your thing.
I'm sure you will, Tony, because you don't have to work today, huh?
Oh, no, so is that what it is? I don't have to work?
You don't have to work today,
Okay.
so. Well, welcome to Everything Brazil show. This is the EB show, and my name is Patricia Carvalho, and you are listening to Irie Jam, right? Together with Kalaloo Network and The Marketplace. As Tony said, if you want to watch live, you can go on Kalaloo Network, and you can click on the button, and boom, we're going to be right there. And this show is about Brazil, everything Brazil, the name already says. And
Says it all.
Says it all. And
Yes.
we are connected with the American and with the Caribbean, and we're going to do this diaspora. We're going to connect everything together.
Because we're all
And
one region,
Definitely we
okay?
are.
The Pan American region, North America, Latin America,
America.
and the Caribbean, just shy of 1 billion people.
Wow. Isn't that great?
Absolutely.
Wonderful. And I would like to thank Anthony Weeks, you know, a good friend, for this opportunity.
Why are you being so formal?
Because,
First you went from being Tony to now, Anthony Weeks.
well, I have to, Tony.
Yeah.
I gotta be formal. You know, I just really like this opportunity. I just want to be thankful, you know, for Irie Jam, Kalaloo. It's just like a wonderful opportunity
Sure.
to, you know, represent my country and to bring to the audience a little bit more about Brazil.
Absolutely.
You know, as Tony said, he doesn't know much about Brazil. I know a little more, you know, than he does. So together,
Oh,
me
just a little
here-
bit? Just a little bit.
bit
Okay,
more.
all right.
And that's the reason why I have guest speakers, because I don't know it all. So I need help, and we are here to, you know, bring that to you. If you guys remember from last week, we have our inaugural show, right? And we had Khalil with me. She's a psychologist. She's a coach, a life coach. You know, she's a teacher. She's an entrepreneur. She was here with me as Tony was.
I felt like I was being
us.
psychoanalyzed.
You
I was
think
in,
so?
I felt like intimidated because I was sitting there and I'm like, she's like probing my mind, probing my head, you know, what's going on. I want to tell me everything, you know.
Well,
I'm joking, be silly.
That's what psychologists do, you know. But I'm sure she had a ball being here with us. And today, you know, we're going to have her husband here with us.
Oh, really? Is this like a
Yeah.
duo, a husband and wife team?
Of course, they're
Wow.
a team.
Okay,
And, you
good.
know, I have known Elel Ribas for more than, you know, a decade maybe. And today we have him on the show. He's a pastor, he's a theologian, he's a teacher, and he also the lead pastor of the church Plenitude of Grace, which Fullness of Grace, and Kayla's husband. But I will allow him to introduce himself.
Sure.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Where are you, Alel? Can
He's
you
over
hear
there.
us?
He's over there on the computer.
I know. Can you hear us, Alel?
Yes,
Hey, how are you?
I can hear you.
Can you hear me? So, are you going to talk to us in English or in Portuguese? I know you can speak English.
Vou falar em português.
Are you going to speak Portuguese? So, folks, he's going to speak in Portuguese, and I will translate, what he's saying. And just like we did the last week, it was different, but it worked, and that's what Everything Brazil is all about. We speak Portuguese, as you guys can see in my.
You're not Latin.
We are part of the Latin region.
You're part of the Latin region,
Yes.
but Brazilians are not Latin. Let's make sure we reinforce that. That everybody
Yes,
thinks you're Latin.
we don't consider ourselves Latin. Maybe Alel has a different point of view. I'm going to allow him
Oh, really?
to say that.
Create some controversy.
Wow, and then, but I don't consider myself, even though we're part of it. So
And you also consider yourself black, by the way.
yes,
You and I have this just ongoing debate. You're telling me you're black, but I'm looking at you. I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. But go ahead.
Tony. As I can see, you don't know much about Brazil at all.
Oh, here we go.
Yes,
Okay,
yes. That's the
okay,
reason why I'm here.
okay,
Let's
okay.
continue.
Okay.
Can you allow my guest to speak,
Sure, go
please?
ahead, go ahead.
Alel, please introduce yourself.
Eu queria dar boa tarde a todos que nos ouvem. Para mim é uma alegria daqui do Brasil poder compartilhar um pouquinho sobre essa terra com vocês aí.
I just want to thank you, everybody, and say good afternoon. It's my pleasure to be in the show. It is my pleasure to participate and share a little bit about Brazil with you. Thank you for being here, Lau. And if you want to say anything in English, I know you can, just be free to do it, okay?
Ok?
And also, this is Pat. It's a conversation. It's not a question and answer. So don't wait for an invitation to jump right in. Just jump right in. This is a conversation.
Exactly. Yeah, it's just a note. Tony over here, you know how he does, right? He jump right in, as he knows a lot about Brazil. I'm just kidding, Tony. Okay, Alel, tell us a little bit about you, and what you do, and your wife was here. She just is home now. How is it to have her back?
Ok. Eu sou pastor por chamado e vocação e para mim a maior alegria que eu tenho é de poder de fato compartilhar o grande amor que eu tenho recebido da parte de Deus com as pessoas.
I am a pastor, and and what is very great about being a pastor is really, really to share the love and the grace of Christ with others. That is the most important thing that I feel about just with this title and office that I have.
Is this your guest saying this, or is this you saying that?
I'm sorry, folks. My guest saying I am translating my guest.
There you go.
Tony.
There you go.
Tony,
There
if
you
you have any questions, please don't
No,
hesitate.
go right ahead. Go right ahead. Go ahead.
Okay.
Go right ahead.
Alel, are you understanding me in English, or do you want me to go in Portuguese and ask you? Você está entendendo? Você quer que eu vou em português e volto? E o que você se sente melhor, você me fala, tá bom? I'm just
Ok,
asking
até
him what
então eu
he's
tenho
better
entendido.
to do. So I will be speaking in English, and he's gonna answer in Portuguese, guys, and I will be translating.
There you go.
There
All
you
right.
go. All right.
Okay.
Go ahead. And you do have a church in Brazil, right? Right now, besides being a pastor, a theologian, and you do, a leader of a church. And before you were a pastor, what did you do?
Eu sou técnico industrial em eletrotécnica. Quero até ver se eu falar isso com o pessoal aí.
Oh, wow. So
My-
let me try to translate this. He is a technician on electrician. Is that
Technician, electrician.
is that the
Yes.
correct translation? He's a technician,
Yes.
like an electrical engineer.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right. So you did that before you became a pastor?
Isso.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So you did that before you became a pastor?
Isso.
Okay.
Isso. Assim que eu me formei, eu vi o meu chamado e desde de 91 eu já trabalhei na igreja. Então, eu tenho hoje 47 anos,
Uhum.
mas os meus últimos 26 anos, eu, graças a Deus, tenho passado sempre trabalhando com a igreja, aprendendo e compartilhando.
Oh, I'm going to translate him now, guys. He's saying that for 25 years he has been in the church. For 25 he has been, serving the people and serving the Brazilian community. And he say he is, is 47. He say his age. He's 47 years old today, and for the past 25 years he's been doing that. And with all the things that are happening now, Leo, I just want to touch a little bit since we're in Brazil, and over here we're hearing on the news and how is the Brazilian economy right now. The Brazilian economy and the things that are happening all over the world. I know here in America the economy is increasing. In the Caribbean, I'll allow Tony to share that with us. But unfortunately, at this moment, since the Brazilian, we went to this transition from one president to the next because we went to this impeachment, and now we have a new president. And since the scandal things and the corruption thing came along with the Brazilian government, and so we can see that things are not going too well for us, right? So tell me a little bit about how are things down there as you observing, as you speak to people, as you are in the community. What is your feeling? What it is that you see that is happening over there?
Ok, então vamos primeiro pelo Brasil. Para nós aqui, nós estamos saindo de 2 anos de muita recessão na economia.
Okay, so he's saying first Brazil. We are, getting from a big recession, for 2 years, in Brazil. Brazil has been in a recession for the last 2 years.
So you're still in recession.
We're still in recession, right, Lau?
Ok. A gente pode falar que nós estamos saindo. Pela primeira vez, nesse último trimestre, a gente teve um aumento no nosso PIB.
Okay. He's saying that for the first time, we can say that we, getting out of it.
Oh.
Because
okay.
the GDP, right, is growing, for the first time after 2 years.
Yeah, that's your GDP is $3.4 trillion.
Right.
That's the size of your economy, $3.4 trillion.
Yes, please continue, Léo.
Então, o povo brasileiro nunca passou por uma recessão tão grande como nesses últimos 2 anos. E o sentimento...
The Brazilian people has never really, gone to such a big recession, in the past 2 years. I'm going to have to just break it up, just not to be too long, so I will really translate you, step by step so people can understand. Is that okay?
Ok.
Okay.
Para se ter uma ideia, nós tínhamos 14 milhões de desempregados até agora.
Oh, wow. He's saying that for you to have an idea, you have 14 million people unemployed.
14.
1-4.
And the population of Brazil is what? I know it's 200 million.
Yes, pretty much 100 million, right? Yes.
Sim, 260.
260?
Yeah, 206, 207 million people.
Yeah, and you have 14 million
And 14 million unemployed.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Yes. Continue, please.
Então, nós tivemos uma diminuição de 14 milhões para 13 milhões de desempregados.
Oh, okay.
Pode até parecer pouco, mas já é uma luz no fim do túnel que nós brasileiros encontramos.
Well, he's saying that before we have 14, now we have 13 unemployed. If you really look at the numbers, it seems, small, but when you talk about a population of 14, we really see a light in the tunnel.
Right. So we're talking about what you have. Let's see, 5, and you're talking maybe almost like 10%. No, not 10%. I'm sorry. About 9%, 8% unemployment, I think.
That's what you think, Alel? 10% of employment right now? Are we still in the 12 percentage?
No, it's not that high. No. I think it's.
Não, ainda continua alto.
You know, according to the
It's 12, it's 12?
what is the percentage right now? Is like 13 or 14? It's 12 or 13? I saw yesterday it was 12.6.
Okay.
Right?
Unemployment.
Okay. Yeah. So it was 14 before, so now dropped to 12.
So it dropped to 12.
Yeah.
Okay, so that means there's progress.
That is progress. Yes, and tell me a little bit about the inflation, Alel. How things are are going high. I know I was reading that the gas is going up. The food, when you go to the supermarket, in the morning is one price, and the next day is a different price. How is that happening?
Olha, no auge dessa crise que nós estávamos passando, a inflação subiu bastante, chegou a 2 dígitos. E nesse ano de 2017, ela, graças a Deus, ela baixou bem e ela está dentro da meta do governo, entre 3% e 3,5%.
Before was how much the inflation? You just told me that the inflation now is 3.5, and before was how much?
Chegou a ser 10, 11%.
Oh, wow, before it was 11%. So now the inflation...
11?
11.
Whoa!
Yes, went sky high, right? Think about when you're trying to buy food.
You know what the inflation?
What you do.
You know what the inflation rate is here in this country?
Hold that thought.
Okay.
We're just gonna go on a little break, and we'll be right back. Okay, Alel, we're gonna come back with Alel, and he's continue to tell a little bit more about the economy in Brazil.
Ok.
This is The Marketplace. We'll be right back.
It is the holiday season, and we know running a business today is more challenging than ever. Business owners and professionals, are you struggling with the following? Not enough customers, poor marketing and advertising, lacking a business plan, running the business alone with little to no help. Our Business Solution is here to help you craft a message that keeps customers coming to you. Call 800-997-1592. That's 800-997-1592. We help all businesses. Customers' expectations have changed, and competition is no longer local but now global. Your business needs effective marketing plan with a huge return on investment. Call today to help your business close out 2017 with a bang and bring new success in 2018. Call 800-997-1592. That's 800-997-1592. Purchase one of our small business packages today and get a ticket to the New Year's Eve ball with DJ Roy and Chef Garfield. Call 800-997-1592. That's 800-997-1592. Or go to irabusinesssolutions.com.
All right, folks, good afternoon. I'm Anthony Weeks, and of course, Patricia Carvalho. She is the producer and host of The Marketplace and Everything Brazil. We are live on location here in New York City at the Irie Jam 360 studio, coming to you live. And today we have a fascinating guest and show lineup for you today. And today I'm just simply going to be a support. I'm going to participate in my supportive role. Pat is going to be leading this conversation today because when we talk about everything Brazil, I know nothing about Brazil. She knows everything about Brazil. And so we're going to have a great discussion. Going to learn a lot. I'm going to learn up. I'm going to brush up on my Portuguese. You know, I'm going to maybe try a little thing or something. You know, what do you think, Pat? What do you think?
I think you did great already. You know
Well,
how to say to the bank.
Absolutely, absolutely. Don't forget, folks, we are coming to you live on the Kalu Network. And to get the Irie Jam 360 app and to watch this program live, simply go to www.kallalloo.com. When you get there, click on the live menu button, and voila, we are live. And you're able to then also, if you want to download the app, please do so, and you'll see the instructions as to how to download the app. And also, this program is also rebroadcast on television throughout the New York tri-state area, Boston, Philadelphia, Baltimore, D.C., and of course throughout the Caribbean, Guyana, and Suriname in South America. And I'm really happy that we are able to have the show and then also have it broadcast in the U.S. Virgin Islands as well, where that's my base, my home base. So Pat, why don't you tell us what we're going to be talking about today? Who do we have as our guest today? And so I'm going to have a wonderful time, just watching you do your thing.
I'm sure you will, Tony, because you don't have to work today, huh?
Oh, no, is that what it is? I don't have to work?
You don't have to work today,
Okay.
so. Well, welcome to Everything Brazil show. This is the EB show, and my name is, and you are listening to, I was telling us about the inflation and how it's affecting the community and himself.
Before you answer that question, Elo, we need to let the audience know that he's broadcasting live from Brazil, but you need to tell us where in Brazil are you?
Yeah, that's right. Hello, tell where in Brazil are you?
Please say again.
Where in Brazil are you? What's the name of your city?
Eu estou na cidade de Belo Horizonte, Minas Gerais.
He is in my city, which is Belo Horizonte, is the third largest city in Brazil.
No, wait a minute. Wait. I'm going to try and learn Portuguese, but you said that in a
Belo
way. Belo
Horizonte.
Okay, that place.
Yeah.
And
That place.
And
You wanted me to translate that?
and he's broadcasting live from that place.
Yeah,
Okay.
in the translation, literally translation is beautiful horizon.
I can handle that.
Yeah.
Beautiful. He's broadcasting live from beautiful horizon.
And we have a lot of beautiful mountains over there,
Okay.
right? So Elo is broadcasting from Brazil via Skype. We are here talking about Brazil, and we are talking about inflation.
And it's the third.
Go-
And is it the third? You said it's the third largest city.
Yes, the third
In
largest.
Brazil?
Yeah.
Wow. What's the population? You know?
What is the population? Elo in Brazil.
Tem
In Belo.
Belo Horizonte, 2,8 milhões de pessoas.
2.8 million.
Okay. Okay. Wow. Wow.
A lot of people, right?
Got you. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. A lot of people. You have any question, Tony, as we progress?
No. I'm following along. I want to kind of learn from
Okay.
you guys.
Great. So, Aleo, let's go back with the inflation as we continue to talk about how Brazil things are worse, but we're coming out of the recession. Now as the government and as the government, is projecting things to get into stability, right? So, as you were saying, please continue.
Quando começamos a sair dessa recessão, a inflação estava baixando, o novo governo, né, que substituiu a Dilma por conta do impeachment, ele estava indo muito bem, até que houve uma delação premiada dos donos da JBS e que prolongaram um pouco mais a crise que a gente estava vivendo.
Okay, I'm gonna try to translate all of that he just said. He was talking about like how we got in this place, right? So, for you guys to understand, we went through impeachment, right? And until Dilma was doing okay. Dilma Rousseff was our president, and then she was doing okay. We found out about a lot of scandals and corruption, and we impeached her. And then Michel Temer came into place. And there he tried to fix the country as the economy was already, going into recession. Right, Aleo? So say the last thing you say so I can, translate the way you spoke, please. The last thought that you said about the delegation.
Ok. Saiu um governo corrupto que os brasileiros assim entendiam. E quando entrou o Michel Temer, havia uma esperança de que aí então o Brasil entrasse nos eixos.
Okay, let me
Foi
translate that.
quando...
Let me translate that. Go
Ok.
ahead. So he's saying that came Michel Temer and this new government, right? Then, and we thought that things would just, much better than was before with the prior, presidency. Continue.
Aí então veio a público uma delação premiada de um empresário conversando com o presidente da República. E essa conversa que vazou então de que esse empresário ele estava dizendo que ele era um réu confesso, havia praticado corrupção, deu uma nova parada no governo e, consequentemente, na economia, alongando um pouco mais essa recessão que já dava sinais de crescimento, de um novo recomeço.
Okay. So let me translate what he just said. So we got to the point that we have the Michel Temer, the new president, and the Brazilians are very hopeful that things will get better. And then our president, and then that is something that happens in Brazil. An episode with our president and a businessman, and which our president and this businessman, he was, negotiating and trying to, give money and, negotiating corruption. And that came into the public, right? And because that came into the public, they had this businessman, he got a delegation, I believe. I'm not sure if I know how to say that word in English, but I'll try to explain. Is when, they decide to tell you what happened so they can be free. So, to release information that is private so, so they cannot go to jail. Is that the correct thing, Elo? So that's what happened. So after the scandal came about, right, everything froze in Brazil. And then the economy stopped growing, and things stopped, employment, remained in the same way. The inflation, went high, and things just stopped, froze, because of this political issue that we are dealing with it right now. Is that correct, Alao?
Sim, isso mesmo.
Right, so,
E-
go ahead.
Então, aí agora, o presidente ele não foi julgado por esse crime no Congresso, e ele está tentando agora, nesse final de mandato dele, implementar as mudanças necessárias para que haja um equilíbrio nas finanças brasileiras, como a reforma da Previdência, algumas reformas econômicas, e aí então nós aspiramos 2018 melhor, e é a previsão de todos os economistas que, de fato, nós conseguiremos sair dessa recessão.
Okay, so with all of this, the president did not go to trial.
What?
He didn't go to trial.
Huh?
Yes.
How? But I thought there was corruption involved. How could he not go to trial?
Can you explain that, Leo? He didn't go to trial, but that's corruption involved. How do you explain that about Brazil?
Olha, Patrícia, o que a gente entende é que sempre houve corrupção no Brasil, mas o último governo, eles conseguiram fazer uma corrupção tão bem bolada que todo mundo sabe que eles roubaram, mas eles conseguiram institucionalizar o roubo e hoje nós temos um fato inédito no Brasil, pessoas de alto poder aquisitivo, políticos sendo presos, governadores, ex-governadores, senadores. Então, isso explodiu a coisa porque estava generalizada. Era como um câncer que tomou conta de uma pessoa completamente.
Okay. So what is he saying? I'm just going to try to sum it up
And
everything.
I have a couple of comments I want to make as well. So go ahead.
Sure. I'm going to try to sum everything that he said, like our previous presidency and everything that, you know, we already know that Brazil, unfortunately, you know, deal with a lot of corruption, and for whatever reason, they got, you know, the leaders in the house, they kind of, it's like they institutionalize corruption, right? So in a
They
way,
institutionalize corruption? Are
in a-
you serious?
yeah. So
It's like,
in
it's
a
like
way,
organized crime or something?
well, if you want to see it that way,
Well, when you say you institutionalize it, I mean, in this country it's called racketeering,
right?
you know, and
So for you to see how serious it is, you know, corruption, and how things are really, how we were in a really bad shape, and how things are progressing,
Right.
and we are hoping that things will get better. So we got to this point that we got, you know, so much corruption, and then I don't know if you guys heard about the Lava Jato. That's the
how you said it?
Lava Jato.
Lava Jato.
Scandal, which is
Scandal.
the I forgot the word right now. Just didn't come the wash car, the car wash.
Car wash.
The car wash scandal. As what they, you know,
They call the scandal car wash?
car wash, because, you know, the governors, the president, the senators, you know, the councilors, everybody, you
Okay,
know.
can I stop you there?
Sure.
Okay. There have been studies in terms of different parts of the world, which countries that are most corrupt to the least corrupt.
Okay.
Okay? And corruption is very high throughout Latin America. Okay? But you're not Latin. You're Portuguese.
Yeah,
And
we're
so-
Brazilians.
Well, I'm saying Brazilian.
We
yes.
speak Portuguese.
You speak Portuguese. Thank you for that.
Exactly.
You speak Portuguese, but you're Brazilian. So, if you're not Latin, and you say that you're not Latin, and they talk about corruption throughout the region and throughout Latin America, they said corruption is very high. I then have to question the structure of your government. Okay, in this country, we have 3 branches of government. We have the executive branch, we have the legislative branch, and we have the legislative branch. I mean, the judicial branch. Okay, and the reason it's designed that way, you have a democratic process where you have political parties. Now, I'm not saying that we don't have corruption problems in this country, but the way our system is designed, it's designed in a way to have more transparency and accountability for how government runs the country and manage the resource. So to talk to me a little bit about the structure of government. What kind of government is it? Is it democratic? And how many parties do you have? And I'm going to have a follow-up with that. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, I can say that we are democratic. We have a lot of parties, and we have the same systems, but differently than here. They have a system that they try to protect those things. In Brazil, they develop a system that, you know, it seems like they could not protect that. That's the reason why that is so much corruption. And I'm going to ask Aleo to give his input on it. And I also want to get back to you on the Latin. We are part of the Latin,
Latin America.
region.
Yeah.
I don't consider myself Latin.
Right.
But we still Latin nation. But we are colonized by Portugal, and we speak Portuguese.
Right.
That's the reason why we feel that
But
we're
you still have
different.
that culture of corruption.
Yes.
Even though you're not Latin,
Yes.
you still have that same culture of corruption in that region.
Yes, we cannot negate that. So, Aleo, is that correct what I just said about the system that we have in Brazil? Is it similar to American system?
Sim. É o mesmo com os 3 poderes, mas, por exemplo, o que aconteceu com o Michel Temer? Houve uma acusação contra ele, só que para processar o presidente precisa de um aval do Congresso.
Ok, let me
E o
let me break. Deixa eu falar com você
Ok.
passo a passo, senão eu vou esquecer. Oh, he's saying that the 3 different, powers the same way that
Three
we
branches-
have.
three branches of government.
Three
Okay.
branches of government, just like here. But what happened with Michel Temer for him to really go to trial? Continue.
Para o presidente ser julgado, ele precisa ter o aval do Congresso Nacional.
Okay, for the president to be put into trial, he needs to have the aval of the House to do that.
Well, that's my point. I'm saying what it sounds like to me. You said the president is corrupt, all the governors are corrupt, all the legislatures are corrupt. So how do you avoid that? You have opposing parties, another party to challenge the other party to expose the problem. So tell me a little bit about that structure.
Go ahead, then, Elo.
Ok. O que acontece? O presidente da República, ele só pode ser julgado por um ato dele na presidência. Como o Congresso Nacional não autorizou, quando terminar o mandato de presidente, o Temer vai responder ao inquérito dessas acusações.
So he's saying that a president, he can only be put into trial if the act that he has done in the presidency. Since this was not the act that it directly have done in the presidency, after, I mean, they voted, and after he finished his term, which is 2018, right? Then he's going to be judged.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So like here in this country, our president is immune from being
Right.
charged with a crime while he's in office.
Right.
And I guess you're saying once he's out of office, you can prosecute him.
That's correct, Elau?
Sim, eu acho que é o mesmo sistema, é isso mesmo.
Yes. So, but we need to go to break, folks. Just hold that thought, and we're just going to be right back.
This is the marketplace. We'll be right
This
back.
is the marketplace.
Are they ready to go again? The next group of people.
All right, folks, good afternoon. I'm Anthony Weeks, and of course, Patricia Carvalho. She is the producer and host of The Marketplace and Everything Brazil. We are live on location here in New York City at the Irie Jam 360 studio, coming to you live. And today we have a fascinating guest and show lineup for you today. And today I'm just simply going to be a support. I'm going to participate in my supportive role. Pat is going to be leading this conversation today because when we talk about everything Brazil, I know nothing about Brazil. She knows everything about Brazil. And so we're going to have a great discussion. Going to learn a lot. I'm going to learn up. I'm going to brush up on my Portuguese. You know, I'm going to maybe try a little thing or something. You know, what do you think, Pat? What do you think?
I think you did great already. You know
Well,
how to say to the bank.
Absolutely, absolutely. Don't forget, folks, we are coming to you live on the Kalu Network. And to get the Irie Jam 360 app and to watch this program live, simply go to www.kalalloo.com. When you get there, click on the live menu button, and voila, we are live. And you're able to then also, if you want to download the app, please do so, and you'll see the instructions as to how to download the app. And also, this program is also rebroadcast on television throughout the New York tri-state area, Boston, Philadelphia, Baltimore, D.C., and of course throughout the Caribbean, Guyana, and Suriname in South America. And I'm really happy that we are able to have this show and then also have it broadcast in the U.S. Virgin Islands as well, where that's my base, my home base. So, Pat, why don't you tell us what we're going to be talking about today? Who do we have as our guest today? And so I'm going to have a wonderful time, you know, just watching you do your thing.
I'm sure you will, Tony, because you don't have to work today, huh?
Oh, no, is that what it is? I don't have to work?
You don't
All
have to
right.
work today,
Okay.
so. Well, welcome to Everything Brazil show. This is the EB show, and my name is Patricia Carvalho, and you are listening to Irie Jam, right? Together with KALALLO.com, and you can watch us live.
Correction. KALALLOO.com.
KALALLO.com. As we continue our conversation here about Brazil and with my guest from Brazil, stream broadcasting from Belo Horizonte, Minas Gerais, my hometown. I just want to give a shout out to my Brazilians out there. Eu só quero falar para os brasileiros que estão nos assistindo, obrigado por estarem aqui conosco e por essa oportunidade que a gente está tendo de conectar o Brasil um pouquinho mais com os brasileiros aqui. So we're going to continue with Alel, and we're just going to wrap it up this topic, and we're just going to move on because we're almost out of time. And so let's just, close this conversation, Alel, about, the economy and the government and how things, are progressing and how we are moving from a recession and going in, and that is a light on the tunnel.
And before you do, LL, I've been following Brazil and its economy for a couple of years now.
Mm-hmm.
Brazil joined BRICS, and
Right.
BRICS is BRICS,
CS,
okay? And they formed a bloc with Russia. The B stands for Brazil, R for Russia, I for India, C for China, and S for South America.
Right.
That was the alliance. And Brazil economy was on fire. Brazil economy was going strong. Brazil was on an upward trajectory, okay? Now, I started seeing a problem. It started going down just before the Olympics. What's the connection, okay? I want to make sure you can answer that afterwards, but why was Brazil's economy so hot when it joined BRICS, but then just right before the Olympics, it started to go down with the corruption and all this other stuff?
You want to answer that, Alel?
Eu entendi. Nós tivemos dois eventos, não só as Olimpíadas, nós tivemos a Copa do Mundo. E, infelizmente, foi constatado que tanto os líderes que trouxeram tanto as Olimpíadas quanto a Copa do Brasil, eles compraram votos para que esses eventos acontecessem aqui.
So let me say, wasn't only the Olympics. Remember in 2014 we had a World Cup.
Yeah.
We had the World Cup in 2014, and 2016 we had the Olympics. And around that time, everything exploded. Why? Because we realized that people that are involved, they bought votes, for things to pass and for those events to take place. Continue.
Então, foi descoberto que até nesses eventos, essas pessoas estavam trabalhando com corrupção para poder ganhar dinheiro. Não era simplesmente para o Brasil ser visto lá fora, ser conhecido como uma grande nação, que é as suas belezas naturais. Eles viam muito mais além disso. Eram pessoas que só se interessavam em ganhar em cima de tudo aquilo que acontecesse. Tanto é que o governador do Rio de Janeiro, onde teve as Olimpíadas na época, ele está preso hoje.
As Alel is saying right now, as I'm getting ready to just, summarize everything that he said, is that those events happened. We thought that, the event was to show about our country, how beautiful it is, the resources, and how, to welcome those to come to Brazil. And we came into, and flew bound that realized that a lot of corruption was involved, and the pieces that were putting together, they had an ultimate motive, a different agenda, that was to withdraw money from all these events and
Yeah,
begin
because
with
we're talking
stadiums
about
and stuff
billions,
like that.
billions
Billions.
hundreds of millions of dollars was spent on getting ready for the Olympics.
Right, and one more thing, and for you to know how things were so serious, as Alel said, that the governor of Rio de Janeiro, where the Olympics took place, he's in jail right now.
Oh, okay.
So things are progressing.
Okay.
A lot of people are going to jail right now. They are really, coming, and they are going because justice is being made.
But one of the questions I ask, and LL, I would like for him to answer, is the political party. Remember I asked about the political parties? You just have one political party?
No. How many political parties we have? I can, 12 maybe?
12?
I'm not sure. How many?
Esse é um problema que está se discutindo até para mudar. Eu não sei, deve chegar perto de 20 ou 30.
Oh, it's like 30. But they are discussing, it's a big problem. They're discussing to change right now.
30 political?
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
Okay.
Thank you for letting us know.
Okay, so how do you have so many parties and one party in power gets away with all this? How do you have so many parties and one party gets to cheat and steal the money? How is that possible?
Acontece exatamente por isso. O Brasil, quando você consegue registrar um partido político, você tem direito a uma cota que o governo é obrigado a passar para os partidos políticos. Então, muitos partidos políticos, eles são abertos, simplesmente a gente chama que é para alugar a legenda. O que isso acontece? Acontece assim, um partido, dependendo da representação dele, ele tem 1 minuto na televisão. Esses partidos menores se aglutinam aos maiores para que eles tenham mais tempo. Então, se abre partido para ganhar dinheiro do governo e para fazer essa troca de influência.
Wow, I'm gonna try to summarize everything that you said. He gave like a little bit more information, and actually, I'm learning this.
Sure, I can see that.
As we're progressing. So he's saying that there is one party, and according to my understanding, that he said that this party, they have a code, a code that they can have others join them, right? So when that happens, they, for instance, if they want to do propagandas, so each party has like probably a minute of, doing, propagandas, and they join everything together, and that's what really happens. I don't know if I really did a justice to explain what Eléo said, mas é mais ou menos isso, Eléo, que você falou? Porque você falou tanta coisa e eu fiquei um pouco perdida.
Não, é isso mesmo. O partido menor, ele dá o tempo dele para um partido maior e ele ganha dinheiro com isso.
Oh, okay. You have the minor parties, right? And the bigger parties. So they just do a swap. The bigger parties, gain money on the small parties, and vice versa. That's the way it works, summarizing everything. So it's a very different system that we have in Brazil, right? So Tony,
but you're saying you're going to reform. You're going to change that.
That's what they're talking
reform,
about.
Election reform. Is that what you're saying?
Talking about that, we are going to have election next year, right? And we are hoping that we're going to put the right person that will bring the change. But, we as Brazilians, we need to understand what's going on. We need to know what's happening so we can vote consciously and, vote and put somebody there that really is going to bring the change. Because I can speak to myself, we're just tired of, seeing Brazil going like that. We're just tired of the corruption. We're just tired of people suffering. We're just tired of seeing the government, the political parties, and all these people just, enriching themselves with our work, our money.
The people's money.
Exactly. And they pass law that only is good for them, is not good for the people. So, we're expecting those things to change. And on that note, I understand.
He's going to give a closing remark. Any closing remarks?
Wait. On that note, I just wanted to just start something. We spoke about so many negative stuff and how things are going, and the question is, there is hope. There is hope for the future.
There is hope.
There is hope. So how do you tell people there is hope, Eléo? How do you express that to your people, to the community? They are going through that. How yourself deal with that question of, I know my country is going through this process right now, but how do I deal with that? What is the hope?
And that's his closing remark.
Olha, a esperança que nós temos, ela não está somente nos políticos. No ano que vem, nós teremos eleição. está se discutindo, né, esse tanto de partido para ver se diminui, para que no máximo tenhamos 5. Então, o brasileiro, ele é um trabalhador por natureza, é um povo pacato, mas também nós cremos que o evangelho, ele pode entrar e mudar a realidade de uma nação, como a gente crê, não somente os políticos, mas também as pessoas sendo transformadas de dentro para fora. Isso vai juntar com tudo que está acontecendo para que o nosso futuro seja de fato um futuro melhor e o Brasil alcance esse lugar que todos nós almejamos, que é um bom país, belo, trabalhador, próspero, e que nós vamos conseguir alcançar esse lugar.
Thank you very much for your closing remarks, Elel, and thank you so much for being in the show. Elel pretty much said that, you know, I'm just going to summarize what he said. He said that, yes, you know, we have election next year. Yes, things are not looking, you know, wonderful right now, but he believes that when you bring the gospel in, when you bring hope, and the Brazilians are tough cookie, they are workers, they believe in themselves, and they believe, you know, the grace of God will bring them forth, and we continue to believe that there is hope for tomorrow and there is hope for our country. So, you want to bring any closing remarks, Tony?
No, I just want to thank LL for being on the show. I appreciate that. I hope this is not your last time. We have lots to talk about and look forward to part 2 of your guests on the Marketplace and Everything Brazil.
Muito obrigada, Léo. Foi um prazer ter você aqui. Nós tínhamos muito mais para falar, mas eu creio que aquilo que nós falamos foi suficiente para as pessoas pegarem um pouquinho daquilo que nós estamos passando do espírito brasileiro. Eu agradeço por essa oportunidade e por seu coração pronto de sempre servir. Eu espero, sem um alô para a família, para Keila, para o Samuelzinho, e muito obrigado por tudo. Fiquem com Deus.
Thank you, Elo.
Thank you so much.
Okay. All right, so that was a great discussion. I really enjoyed it. There's so much we need to discuss, but this is to be continued. This has been another live edition of The Marketplace and Everything Brazil, live here in New York City at Rosedale, I should say, Irie Jam 360. And we come to you live each and every week. My colleague Patricia Carvalho, and of course myself, Anthony Weeks, live here on the Kalaloo Network. And of course we're going to rebroadcast this at a later date, and you're also going to be able to see it on our partner station on television on Tempo. Thank you so much.
Yes, and before we close and before we go, I'd just like to thank again Tony and Irigen, Kalaloo Network, and the Marketplace, and also tell you guys if you want to join us and on Facebook, Everything Brazil, Kalaloo Network, the Marketplace, and
just type in Everything Brazil on Facebook, right?
Yes, and
like the page.
Like the page and in all of that. And also, I would like to to send our deep condolences to the family, to the employees, to the partner, to the friends, to the community of the past of the CEO from Golden Cross. Our prayers are with them.
Absolutely.
And we understand that is a very difficult time right now that you guys going through. But just know that the grace of God is with you, and He's gonna take you through this. So thank you so much. I'm also looking for Brazilians that live here in the tri-state area to be interviewed. So if you're a lawyer, if you're a business, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a chef, if you know how to cook, just drop me a line on Everything Brazil. I will be getting in touch with you so we can have discussion, conversation, and we just wanted to connect this wonderful, diaspora that we have.
Great job. Great job.
So it was a wonderful being, with you guys. Until next time.
We'll talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon.
Aha! Ding dong! This dance was meant for you. Real party.
This is Anthony Weeks of The Marketplace. Join me each week live on WSDX 970 AM radio, Kalaloo.com, and on television when I bring you the latest news, stories, and the voices of everyday viewers like yourselves who are doing great things in their lives throughout their communities, throughout their careers, in business, government, and the marketplace. from the Caribbean diaspora in the region, in the U.S., and around the world. The Marketplace, coming soon.
Crazy about football? Then you came to the right place. You're watching Football Fanatics, and I'm your host, Fabian.